Hi everyone, welcome on board to F00T, where you get the reliable news that is tailored for you, and of course where you can actually comment and interact.
The battle between the South and the East is a serious issue, and this came as a result of the amalgamation that should never have happened. The national president of Miyetti Kautelhore, Bello Abdullahi Bodejo, has said that the Fulani own the country, own Nigeria, and will rule the country forever. Over time you must have heard the term born to rule. You might think it's the Hausa that is saying this, but then if you look much more closer, not because the Hausas are not part of this, even an Hausa is not supposed to say born to rule, a Yoruba man is not supposed to say born to rule, an Igbo man, Efik, Ibibio, Ijo is not supposed to say born to rule. But this is what we've heard from the north, and it's even difficult to differentiate Hausa and the Fulani. Now, the Hausas are indigenous to Nigeria, while the Fulanis, they came from somewhere, aliens. They came in, sold the idea of Islam to the Northerners, and they came in and dominated them. They fought and took over. Abdullahi also revealed that his organization had concluded arrangements to flag off its own security outfit with about 5,000 to 100,000 vigilantes to be deployed across all the states in the country. Now, they are not talking about the North. They are talking about deploying their own security, their own vigilantes. Some might say their own terrorists, some might say their own foot soldiers. He said that Fulani do not need permission from anyone to settle in any land of their choice because Nigeria belongs to them and they founded it. The Fulani leader said that like Amotekun, where the State House of Assembly in the Southwest made laws to back it up, the Fulani security outfit won't be needing the law to support it because every place the Fulani finds themselves, that is their own assembly, that is their own place, that is their own land, meaning the earth is of the Lord and the earth belongs to them. If they step on it, it's theirs, meaning everywhere belongs to Allah. So wherever they find themselves, they own it. And if they have to shed blood to stay on that place, they will. Abdullah stated this in an interview with the Sun newspaper heading, "My organization, Miyetti Kautelhore, we are trying to set up our own security outfit." I know a lot of reactions are going to trail this, and I'm expecting a lot of comments from this, and a lot of people are going to speak about this. But then, as you're speaking, what is the solution? What is the way out? People will talk about break. I understand. That's point one, break away. But then, what do you think is the solution at the moment to all of this? He went on to say, we are considering starting 5,000 personnel first, and they will definitely get as much as they want to 100,000. While their own is Amotekun, our own name shall be unveiled soon. We have not decided on the name yet. Maybe it may be called Miyetti Vigilante. He explained that the coronavirus has delayed the takeoff of the outfit because of the social distancing policy, even though nothing concerns Fulani man with coronavirus. Now, when you hear all of this, you should understand that there is no reason, there is no way we can coexist in any form with the North. The South cannot. I'm going to list a few before I go on with what the man said. One, the conventional laws that we have in Nigeria, even though they are jaundiced, do not forget that some of the laws we have in Nigeria are brought by the British people. Some have been kept. The military regime also brought in some laws and some fiats, and they did a lot of things. Now, all of this that we have in Nigeria can be traced somehow. You can relate them a little bit to Christian origin. I'm not saying they came from the Bible, but I'm saying that the people that are non-Muslim, people that claim that they are Christians, even though there are human laws there too, not necessarily religious laws, the fanatical Muslims in the North cannot in any way obey those, because to them, according to their doctrines and their culture that they've accepted amongst themselves, it is a taboo, it is a wrap for them to work with the laws that they claimed are Western, or laws that are conventional, or laws that are not, that do not have foundation in Islam. That's why when you go to the North, you will find a different law, Sharia law. And they're trying to push this all over Nigeria because they're not ready to break. If you have Sharia law in the North, why don't you keep your North to yourself and stay without any form. It's very easy. If you have a law and you have a cultural practice that is acceptable to your people, stay with yourself. You do not have to encroach on other people's space and force them to stay with you. What does it mean? Fulanization. They want to dominate you. They want to have their own law, and they want to also push their law on you. Simply, it's a very terrible system, and it's a terrible system, a structure that is not going to work. So that is one about the law. Now, when we look at religion, which is also part of the law, when you look at the religion in the north, they are predominantly Muslims. And when you come to the south, you'll find fewer Muslims. And the kind of Muslims you find in the south, apart from Murik, this Hausa Fulani terrorist-sponsored organization, Murik, in the southwest of Nigeria, headed by one man that calls himself Dr. something there. Aside that, who I believe is only talking, he will be kicked out if he decides to be an extremist, if he decides to be a fanatic, if he decides to be a terrorist, he will be kicked out as fast as the lightning. So, aside that, we do not have that. We have liberal Muslims in the south of Nigeria. We have few in the southeast of Nigeria, very few, probably 2 to 3% of Muslims in the southeast of Nigeria. In the west, we have more Muslims, but they are more liberal. They are not fanatical like that. So religion is not the same. Culture is not the same. Morals is not the same. Laws, not the same. So why are we together? So when you look at this, and even understanding is not the same. You hear what he said? What concerns Fulani man with coronavirus? As you can see in videos, they scream and shout, Babu Corona. So let me go on with what he said. He said, we are meeting anytime from now. We make our plans public. We first start with 5,000 personnel. He said, adding that it is going to be across the country because there is no any angle you cannot find a Fulani in this country. He said that even though personnel of this security outfit are meant to tackle rustlers and bandits with guns and other weapons, they, the new security outfit, will not bear arms, but will use the same sticks they use to control cows. How their stick is enough to use for their defense. I'm sure that he doesn't want to use the word weapon. He doesn't want to say weapon. We are going to take guns and ammunition. As you can see, a lot of weapons are out there in the hands of those people. So you are going to use stick to defend yourself. Who is fooling who? He insisted that the Fulani have the right to go and settle in any part of this country, in any bush, in any farm, in any land. As you can see them, you find them in schools with their cows, find them in universities, you find them in classrooms, find them everywhere because they believe that they are born to rule. He said, nobody can ask us not to. He said, because we do not need permission from anybody to go anywhere we want. It is not against the law in this country. Who will they go to take permission from? Is it the animals in the bush? He said that no one can drive away the Fulani because they produced Nigeria. Nigeria was produced by Fulanis. That's what he's saying here. They produced the first prime minister. Imagine what he said. If they produce the first president, another president, and so on, are they not the owner of the country? Simply put, after the first prime minister, there is no other prime minister. The first president, and now we have more president. Fulani are ruling Nigeria, and they must continue to rule the country forever. That is the truth of what we are on about. These are the words of this man. Now, if all of this is true, which I believe they've said countless times, the influx of Amajiris or foot soldiers, able-bodied young northerners into the south is a sign that the days of these people that are moving in and here, right, left and right and center, the day that they are going to finally perform what their agenda is all about is near. So rise up and be smart. Now, this is not something just to make you, not just to create agitation, or someone will say, oh, this is just a false flag, something just to create people to panic and all of that. But are you blind? There is a lockdown, and they are escaping from the north down to the south. What is your take about this? Your governors are doing nothing apart from some governors in the south west of Nigeria. They are proactive, but the governors in the southeast of Nigeria, they are saboteurs. They are Judases. They are only interested in what comes into their pocket. They are looking for opportunity here in the Senate here, and that's all that concerns them. This is serious. Now, someone has called for the arrest of this man for what he has said, that is talking about genocide, and that the Middle Belt should declare themselves, the Southeast and Southwest should declare themselves. But unfortunately, the Southeastern governors, some of them are embracing and even collecting bribe from these Ruga settlers that are all over the place. That is why it is difficult to even see a way out of this. But then, once we keep educating ourselves and spreading this and letting ourselves see this and begin to look deeper and beginning to get serious about it, I think this is a step forward towards emancipating ourselves from this stupidity.
I say a very big thank you to those who have taken time to subscribe to this channel, and if you're yet to subscribe, kindly tap on that subscription button and also the red bell icon so you will be notified whenever videos such as this are uploaded.